me, I'll give them the chance. But yeah, that's basically the way that we approach everything. You just gotta be upfront about whether you can actually like do off markets, or if you want to have something that is on market but needs a lot of work. You just kind of have to be open minded, but know exactly what you want whenever you're starting out, and then the open mindedness comes along the way. But sorry for rambling there, but I had to get that out. Got to let the people know. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Financial Freedom Friday. As always, I am Michael Oakes, and joined with me is my best friend and business partner, Paul Rodriguez. Paul, how we doing today, brother?
Good. I'm doing really well. Today we're going to be discussing a really interesting strategy that I think you guys could really use in your real estate business. If you're looking to get started, I think this is the best way to do so. We're going to be going direct to agent. So really exciting. This is a game changer in the real estate journey that you guys are going to be embarking on, especially if you guys want an edge. You want kind of want that cheat code to make things easier for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's just jump right into it. Like, why do we go direct to agent? As a buyer, Paul. I mean, often agents have access to those types of things that hit the market even before they hit the market. They know a little bit more about the seller's circumstances. So why do you think it gives you that competitive edge?
Well, I think agents do a really good job of understanding the market, right? They have really specific data for whatever they're located. So they kind of give you that insider access, or like they kind of have like the insider knowledge, so to speak. So, you're able to negotiate quicker because they understand the numbers and what makes sense and what doesn't. And they already have, a lot of times, if they're a listing agent, they already have that conversation has already been had with their seller, right? So they know their bottom line. So you can just talk to them directly and kind of figure out, you know, does this make sense? And then also they have a lot of off-market properties that haven't hit the MLS yet, that aren't, nobody else can see them. You're not going to find them on Zillow. So a lot of these opportunities you would only get through an agent. So yeah, if you want stuff before it goes public, talk to an agent.
Yeah, plus, agents love working with those motivated buyers. If you got everything lined up, they'll prioritize you. Like we have a deal right now that we're trying to work out in South Carolina that we went and toured the property. And while we were there, he literally told me, "Hey, I got another deal up north a little bit. I'll send it over to you. So if you make a good connection, they'll just start feeding you deals, and you don't even have to worry about it at all."
Yeah, Mike and I always joke, we're like, agents are like the best free employees, right? You don't have to pay them anything up front, and they just bring you deals. And a lot of times those deals are vetted, you know what I mean? They're motivated sellers. They've already listed the property. So, yeah, I think what people could really get out of this is, how do they approach the agent, right? Like, what are you saying? How are you making a solid first impression? And what do you need to know to be prepared when you're talking to these agents?
Yeah. For us, like we've learned through Jamil Damji and Jerry Norton, some really cool ways that we do it. Obviously, you got to be ready with your financing. You got to at least have a proof of funds letter, which you can get through Jamil. It's $12. Um, that you can communicate your budget, like what you're looking for, what types of properties. And if you come with that info, like knowing you want as is condition, like as is distressed properties in the original condition, with motivated sellers who are trying to just get up and out of there, that they're in a tough spot, we try to help them out, give them a service that, if you want speed and service, we can get you a wholesale offer immediately, like that day, within 24 hours. that we can get you an idea if you can get out of there, and we're going to offer you a lower price. But if you want the speed and convenience, we can offer you that. If you want something else, we have other strategies we can use. But it's about, first of all, just letting them know what you're looking for and be stupid specific about it. Because if you just say, hey, I want, some fixer uppers, they're just going to put you on a drip campaign like every other real estate agent. And they're just going to get you, oh, here's these random houses, let me know. But Paul, I'd love to hear what you think is your strategy going into these calls.
It's all about the relationship, right? The houses are one thing, the properties are another thing, but you have to establish that relationship so that you have repeat business with these agents. And I think the most important part of solidifying that foundation is the follow up, right? I've struggled with this in the past. I know Mike, you have too, where it's like you have so many things going on, it's hard to text back right away. And then the text that would have taken you 30 seconds to send while you were busy then kind of falls off, falls through the cracks, so to speak. And then you don't hit the agent back for a few days. And then the relationship is kind of stale at that point. It's just weird. And like, nobody wants to work with you if you're not responsive. So I would say you have to be communicating, you have to answer your phone, you have to follow up, right? Sometimes these agents are very busy and they don't have time to text you back right away. And so you have to kind of be on them. You have to, if you don't get a response within a few hours or, whatever the case may be, depending on your timeline, you have to follow up with them. Shoot them a text. Don't be afraid to double, triple text them. Don't be afraid to call them. I'm not saying stalk them and blow them up, but definitely make sure that they know that you're serious about this, right? And that's the best way to do it. Establish that relationship, keep talking to them, follow up, and they're going to be more inclined to give you better opportunities moving forward.
100%. 100%. It all comes down to the 3 F's, right? Follow up, follow through, and follow back. That's that. If you can do that on a consistent basis, like Ryan Serhant says, you'll literally become him. He just sold a $35 million Central Park penthouse that he was literally a couple weeks away from losing. I believe he just sold that. I thought I saw something, but he is the king. And obviously, there's other great people who are good at this. But follow up and don't say, "Hey, I'm just following up with you." Click immediately. Like you got to find a way to get. And we say this all the time: break that trust barrier. If you can get them to trust who you are, that you're a knowledgeable person, and you follow up, let them know what's going on, and just even if they don't do anything, put them on a campaign that sends them an email every month that maybe one day they're like, yeah, you know what? He keeps following up with me. I'll give him the chance. But yeah, that's basically the way that we approach everything. You just got to be upfront about whether you can actually like do off markets or if you want to have something that is on market but needs a lot of work. You just kind of have to be open minded, but know exactly what you want whenever you're starting out, and then the open-mindedness comes along the way. But sorry for rambling there, but I had to get that out. Got to let the people know.
Gotta let them know. Yeah, and dude, I really think it's all about making them feel that you're serious about what's going on. And so I would honestly say when you're working with an agent, you got to secure the best deals, right? And they're not going to send the best deals to everybody. So Mike, what do you think is the best way to secure these deals?
Timing. you know, like you gotta just keep calling, and people always say the wealthiest people are the luckiest ones, right? So it's just got to be in the right place at the right time and just being consistent about just doing it. Like you don't know if they're gonna take a less offer unless you call them and find out. Like people will take almost anything if they're desperate. They'll take whatever can get them out from underneath what they got going on. But yeah, timing, acting fast, and really just knowing what you want and making that decision quickly and trusting it. But how do you think, Paul? What's your best way in your opinion?
Dude, you have to tap into the knowledge that that agent has. A lot of people argue that real estate agents don't do they don't do anything. All they do is they post pictures and unlock the house for showings, and it's so not true. It's such a disservice to those agents because you know as technology becomes more and more readily available, you can go on Zillow on your phone. You have all these apps that can show you how much a house is worth. At the end of the day, all of those things pale in comparison to the hyper specific knowledge that an agent has in their market, right? So you could come to them and say, hey, I was looking at the comparables, the houses that compare to this one, and I think that your list price is too high. And then the agent comes back and says, well, the comps that you're using aren't actually comps because of X, Y, and Z. And this is why I use these comps because in this state or in this county, we have to abide by these certain rules. And so if you're able to if you're able to meet these people in person and actually go belly to belly, we like to call it, and kind of establish that relationship in person, that will always do better for you moving forward instead of trying to do everything on the phone. Um, and they can really guide you to areas that you appreciate or up and coming in your areas, right? So yeah, I mean you can really use agents to your benefit as long as you respect them, you communicate, and more importantly, you meet them in person.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. I couldn't agree more with you on that, dude. Like, if you find an agent that knows like the construction going on, what big events or farmers markets are going on, those are the types of people you want to work with because they actually are boots on the ground. They're out there doing stuff, and they're talking to people. They're actually getting things moving. So those are the types of people you want to look for. They have an understanding of the market, the area. They know a bunch of people. That's obviously going to make them stand out and going to give you an easier way to be able to get these deals. And one other thing I wanted to throw in here is we learned a new way from Jerry. It's not reverse wholesaling, but it's almost like that. It's going to these agents that have these connections with flippers in your local area, reaching out to them and seeing if you have a deal, obviously, that you're trying to push out to dispo. Call them, see if their buyer's looking for a new project, or if they if they aren't looking for a project, who knows? You might be able to dispo that deal for them, or they have another flipper that has something. So you never know what you're gonna find. Exactly what Paul said. Just make that relationship, and who knows? They might have the keys to your garden or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, had to throw that one in there. That's so huge from Jerry. I can't believe he's just giving that away for free, dude. Like, if you don't watch Jerry Norton, Pace, Jamil, all those people, go watch their content because they are the kings of this stuff.
Yeah, if you guys are serious about getting ahead in your real estate game, you guys want to buy property, you want to do it effectively, I seriously urge you to consider going direct to agent. You got to build those relationships early, you have to nurture them, but that's kind of like the hard work, right? Eventually you'll get to a point where all the deals just come to you because you're serious, because you respond to them, because you've established a great relationship with these agents. And it's all about leveraging those agents' knowledge to find the right deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So don't be afraid to make those calls, folks. But that's it for everything from us here at Financial Freedom Friday. Make sure, as always, subscribe, like, share, put some comments down below. Let us know what you want to see, hear. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, definitely. And don't forget to tune in next week. We're going to dive into the negotiation tips and kind of the stuff that's been working for us when speaking to these agents. So you guys are not going to want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe. And we'll give you everything you need to know.